I want to thank my guests tonight for coming here to talk about a very difficult subject, from There's Something About Mary to Meet the Parents, the Zoolander, and now the Royal Tenenbaums. If he isn't picking great projects, he's writing and directing them himself. A nice man, Ben Stiller. Ben? Ben Stiller?
How are you? Sure. Thank you.
Now, Ben, I remember when you first came walking into Saturday Night Live.
Yes, it was
an
intimidating experience. Ago. You scared the shit out of me.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, you were you're Dennis Miller.
Well, I was supposed to rag on the young guys.
I know.
Because Carvey was too busy perfecting impish characters, and
yeah, you said
it was my job to razz the young
You
kids.
said, Stiller's here to take another piece of the pie. Looking for another piece of the pie.
I remember you had that great audition tape where you did a parody of The Color of Money with Tom Cruise, and instead of a pool stick, you had a bowling ball and was trying to act cool with it.
Yes, that was myself and a couple other guys did that film, and that was how John Lovitz brought that up to the office to get that on the show. Like, I met him in the lobby, and I said, "Okay, could you bring this up to show to Lorne Michaels?" And that's how it got on.
Well, you were. I often thought you were underused there, and it certainly has proved out.
In my 5 weeks there, I wasn't really able to.
Remember that day you kissed Dolly Parton at read-through, and Lorne had that apoplectic moment where, Lorne doesn't like physical contact. I remember you grabbed her and kissed her, and he was like,
"Yes, yes, I do. I do remember that." It was, yeah.
All right, now I hate to ask this question because I don't think any of us coped with 9/11. We always act like we're supposed to figure shit out. Sometimes life just shit hammers you. You have no clue how to react. But what happened to you in the immediate wake of 9/11? You live in New York, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, no, I live here, but I'm from New York, and I grew up in New York. So, it was horrible. I mean, what can you say that hasn't been said
I know.
before?
Everybody tried to be insightful in the immediate wake of it. I remember thinking, just shut up and be traumatized.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had this movie coming out like 2 weeks after it, so I had to do all the press stuff.
Zoolander.
Yeah, and it was like really like the most
That was the oddest image, one of the oddest images of the whole thing. It seemed like a surrealistic, the whole vision down there, but I remember seeing one of the buses
like the bus with
Zoolander on the side of it. It was all destroyed and crushed.
Yeah, I mean, it's never in a million years do you think when you're working on a movie or something you're going to have to, go through that when you're putting it out, but then you think, what the hell does it even matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And then you don't even want to talk about the movie, and then you have to, you go out and do. So it was a weird experience, but I think for people who weren't directly affected by it, not knowing somebody specifically, it's like anything else that happens. With time, it recedes as much as you hang on to it. The visceral feeling kind of.
Do you find yourself getting guilty that you're letting some of the? Because I find myself getting guilty some days that I'm letting some of the bullshit creep back in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of it has creeped back in, and. I mean, you hear the warnings on TV. I think there's that stress level that's there about just kind of like our lives and what could happen. But for everybody else who wasn't affected by it, I think there's a certain you kind of want to go forward. I feel, and there's a guilt that goes along with it, wanting to go forward and wanting to not feel like anything has changed too. You want to just kind of not think about it.
Yeah, I didn't get pissed at traffic for a while. I remember thinking, what an asshole life I'm leading. I'm actually letting morons in other cars fuck my day up. And I'll just chill out. I was letting people go and, just sitting there like an Amish guy, I'm at a stop sign for 3.5 hours, and now I'm, back to, hey, motherfucker!
Right. No, it's like a bad breakup, when you when it first happens, you're like, you're never going to eat again, and you don't want to have sex, and then, 6 months later, it's back to the hookers and pound cake. At least for me.
Well, those are the surface things that don't matter, but underneath, there have to be some deeper changes, don't you think?
No,
I mean, what has changed substantively in you? Anything?
I think the kind of the immediate thing is like just our general awareness of the rest of the world's opinion of this country, or the fact that we're not a well-loved country all over the world. And I think that's like a real thing that I felt, kind of this all of a sudden just being aware of how much anger and hatred there is towards
but beyond anger and hatred,
America.
Don't you watch these other countries now and think, It's a fucking madhouse there. I know we're supposed to take it all on us now, and everybody wants us to say, well, you have so much, you should feel guilty about it. And they had I've actually heard people saying, you know, this is why they've gone after you. Listen, I look at some of those countries, I think they got to get their shit together. I mean, all it is broken cinder blocks, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's, you know, a very conflicted feeling, because I'm very happy to live in America and to have all the great advantages of being in America. But then I know as well as you know, it's what you joke about all the time, is how fucked up the country is too, and you know, all the, our government is not the, the kind of great entity that we would love it to be. But the reality is there's a lot of...
Yeah, but do you look for anything really at the end of the day out of government? I mean, I don't look for anything. It's a sham. I look at guys from both sides of it, and they seem like they're completely full of shit.
I agree with you.
Trent Lott, Tom Daschle, same guy, less hairspray. You know.
I agree with you 100%. But, also the reality is that we have to live within the parameters of this country. So I think you have to... I've tried to remain apolitical pretty much for most of my life, and I feel like you can't really do that. I feel like I can't really do that.
How are you changing with people on a day-to-day level? Have you had any substantive changes with strangers, or?
I think immediately afterwards is the same thing you went through, which was trying to be nice, letting people cut in traffic, trying not to be as judgmental, trying to put out positive energy, and it's.
You're back to square one.
I'm back to square one.
Yeah,
but I think there's that awareness there all the time that that this happens. So I don't know. It's like a weird sort of low-level thing that's there.
Well, we got a phone call. Let's take line 2. Amy from Lexington, Ohio. Amy, what's happening tonight?
How are you tonight, Dennis and Ben?
Hi.
Are you okay, baby? You sound like you're underlauded.
I'm good.
Okay.
What do you feel would be the appropriate punishment for the people involved with the 9/11 attack?
Well, I'm a hardcore. I think I'm surprised those cats made it to Cuba. I really, people were worrying about their cell size and all that, and I'm thinking, fuck these guys. They should be dead. We've gotten way too understanding. I know people nowadays, they'll say, oh, Christ, that's such a crazy thing to say. We have to figure out their rights and all that. Fuck their rights. They killed innocent people. They're punched in at the World Trade Center. They're sitting there, and the people that they're fighting for flew planes into them. I'm just not big on figuring them out. Fuck them. That's what I feel. I don't want to...
You know what I like?
Listen, now having said that, I'll tell you, that's halfway out of my mouth. I think you sound like a fucking caveman. But you know what?
I agree with you. I mean, that's my gut feeling. I don't know if it sounds good, but what I like is the people, that in Egypt and in the Middle East who claim it was a Jewish conspiracy. That's that's one I love.
That'll show you how irrevocably broken it is. How are you going to change that mindset?
I know.
That they look at this, that 19 of them are all from that section of the world, 15 from Saudi Arabia. Everything's on the books. Everything's almost taped. They have amazing phone records now, videotapes. It's all testified. And they present it to these people. They go, well, it was Jewish people.
Yeah. My parents can't even decide where to go out to eat, okay? So I'm telling you.
Ben's parents are Joe Bologna and Renee Taylor.
That's right.
We've got a...
We're doing a one-man show on Broadway.
Another call, line 4. We've got Debbie from Orlando, Florida. Debbie.
Hi.
Whoa.
Hello.
Let me guess. You work for Disney?
No, I don't. Actually, I'm a martial arts instructor.
All right. So you kicking some ass down there, bro?
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right. What's your question?
My question is, do you think people have become more tolerant of airport delays?
Oh, I haven't. I mean, I think we have to be, but it's, going to the airport is a nightmare.
Yeah. It's definitely ruined the travel experience for me. I remember the old days when I used to go up to the gate and just think about that 1 in 1,000 chance that I would get a cavity search. And now it's...
it's nothing to look forward to.
Now it's de rigueur. Line 6, we've got Becky from Gloucester, Louisiana. Becky?
Hi, Dennis.
Are you near New Orleans, doll?
No, I live in the northwest corner. I live up high. We are considered Yankees by the South, but that's okay. So how you doing?
I just try to make nice chat. I'm in a Matthew Brady Daguerre type. Go ahead.
Oh, man, listen, number one, love your intro. I'm so glad you're back. It's not even funny.
Well,
you're great.
That's probably not the best compliment you can pay a comedian.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, my question is, if you yourself, do you think that your safety, in other words, is the measures and the changes and everything, do you personally feel safer at this moment than you did before September the 11th, or did December the 11th make you change your attitude about safety completely?
Listen, I felt safe till I took this call. Good night.
Oh, man, I'm so cool with you.
No, you know what? Everybody says, I don't know about you, Ben, but everybody says, I wish I could go back to 9. I wish things were like the 10th of September.
Right.
You know, I was scared shitless of strangers on the 10th of September, you know? I really was. I mean, you know, there's certain people I just give me the creeps. Honest to God, it has nothing to do with his background or his sect or all that. If a cat like that Richard Reed guy gets on a plane, sits next to you, aren't you going to go, the fuck is this?
Yeah. Did you know that they interrogated Richard Reed, though, and they found out he's not a terrorist, he just really, really hated his shoes?
Sort of a pedophile.
Yeah, pedophile.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, let me just ask you this. I met your wife. She's a beautiful young lady. I met her at the Christmas party this year.
Yes.
And you come from such a good marriage. Certainly you will no doubt want to have kids soon. And are you influenced by it?
We're actually going to have a kid soon. So it's,
you are?
yeah, in a couple of, like 3 months. And it's weird. I mean,
would you teach your kid to be like an open-hearted, I'd like to teach the world to sing fucking Pepsi ad? Or would you say,
if he
hey,
can
listen,
make money,
son, would you say there's some assholes in the world, kid?
You know what? I feel so totally terrified and unprepared to raise a child that before September 11th, after, that, you know, I think you have to try to just give them a balanced view. I don't know. I mean, what do you do?
Well,
seriously.
I think at some point you owe it to your kids to say, listen, it's not Candyland. Most people are nice. There's some real shitheads. Avoid the shitheads.
How old are yours?
My kids are 3 and 4.
So,
Thanks for coming on. Ben Stiller, ladies and gentlemen.